debut. Now I'm joined this morning by Martin Elago. He's a former CRO of the Oshana Regional Council and now a headman in the Oshikoto region and a resident also to just dissect what he expects the governor to speak about and as well as the challenges that he wants addressed in this SORA. Thank you so much, Mr. Elago, for joining us. Talk to us about this year's SORA. What are your expectations?
Thank you very much, Dapanda, and thank you very much, the residents of Omthia. I think it's quite a wide area, really, but I think what I can share with the community as per what I think the Honorable Governor would touch on. One of the areas is actually the critical water shortage or problems in water supply issues, especially in the eastern part of the region. That area is one of the first areas that the governor visited, actually, upon assuming the responsibility as governor. And you know, he was quite emphatic on actually pursuing that matter. That you know, the issue has been long on the table, that people don't have water, and he took it upon himself during his first SORA that he was going to pursue that matter. And in fact, I expect him to say more about that today. Much must have taken place as per his own word, and therefore I believe he is going to inform the nation today and report back as to what has happened so far.
Mm-hmm. Now we do know that the Oshikoto region is quite vast, spanning to the most remotest of rural areas like Omumbula. I've been there, we've covered those areas. The challenges there are not unique. It's a lack of network coverage, lack of sufficient water supply, as well as not so well put together roads or road infrastructure in those remote areas. How would you like this to be addressed, really, and not just after the SORA, then things maybe die down? How do you think government can really aid into accelerating development that speaks to the current needs of its people in both urban and rural areas?
Thank you very much, Ndapanda. You have spot on, actually, on the problems that are experienced in the rural areas of Namibia, especially the parts you have just mentioned. And therefore, as I have alluded to, that since the governor made these issues actually in his first SORA, I believe he should give the people feedback as to what has happened. And therefore, I expect the same to happen in those other sectors or subsectors. We do not expect good speeches, good words. We want action, and therefore I expect the governor to give us what exactly has happened. And therefore, in the areas that you talked about, the road network, quite a big issue, because you really struggle if you want to access those places. And therefore, people need to feel that they are part of a free Namibia, where people should enjoy the services that are provided by government. And therefore, his office should really facilitate that process of service delivery and actually attending to those needs. The issue of telecommunication networks and internet connectivities, those are real issues, because you go to the schools, children are compelled to make use of those. We who live in the villages, we need those services. We need to do banking, we need to connect with our people, we need to connect with the leadership, we need to access government e-services. And I tell you, it's quite a challenge if you don't have those. And therefore, the Honorable Governor really, really needs to work hard in that area. And I believe, and I have all the confidence in him, that he will have made a start in that. Because I believe that is going to be a program, not one project, but a program that is likely to take a year or more. And therefore, I believe he should have made the start already.
We have also seen or continue to see that our towns continue to develop, not at a fast pace, but they are developing, while the rural areas are a bit stagnant. How do you think we can really ensure that we develop all these areas to ensure that we limit urban, rural migration to urban areas?
Yeah, quite a real challenge, that one. You know, rural development should be quite a priority to the government. You know, it's one of those issues that we need not take lightly, because it does have an impact, you know, on the community. If we do not provide rural services or services, public services to the rural communities, you know, the youth are likely to feel uncomfortable there. They are likely to migrate to towns. And our towns do not really generate employment opportunities really at the same rate. And therefore, I'm happy that our current Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, used to actually have these issues as his main thrust, especially during his youth days. And, you know, rural development, youth employment, women empowerment, and stuff like that. And therefore, these bear more significance and prominence. And therefore, they should be attended to by the regional governor, being the person on the ground and knowing exactly what's going on a daily basis in his region.
Of course, the governor is the head of the region, representing the president there is. But what is important for teamwork really to ensure that we deliver some of these blueprints that we are giving out to the nation?
Yeah, very good point. The Honorable Governor should actually serve as a coordinator, you know, a person that brings all the role players and stakeholders together, whether it is ministries, offices, agencies, or whether it is traditional leaders, community leaders, faith-based organizations, youth organizations, women organizations, and everybody else. Really, he is the one in a position to bring all these role players together and actually coordinate activities that are supposed to be taking place in the region that are, you know, to benefit the people. I'm sure his office alone may not, you know, be in a position to single-handedly handle everything. He may not have the resources. He may not have, you know, all the, you know, the means and resources to address all the all the issues. But working in collaboration with all the other stakeholders and playing the role of a facilitator and coordinator, I'm sure with that we can achieve more.
Thank you so much, Mr. Elago. We will continue to engage you after the governor has delivered his second SORA in just a few minutes from now. It's back to you so that we can look at the proceedings as the governor takes to the podium.
Let us all unite and celebrate together. Nangula. Uh, sorry, my apology. Honorable Sacky Kathindi. I'm not
Happy 35th birthday, NBC. It's ours. Every story starts somewhere. Ours began in 1991. From the very beginning, we have carried one clear purpose: to inform, to entertain, and to inspire. From our early analog days to the digital future, we continue to build. We have been part of Namibia's journey, traveling across the vast landscapes of our country, telling the stories that connect us. We have captured the moments that matter, the joy, the pain, the culture, the heritage, and the history of a brave and resilient people. Through it all,
It is an opportunity to account to the people of Oshikoto to reflect honestly on our achievements and shortcomings and to reaffirm our collective commitment towards building a region that offers opportunity, dignity, and prosperity for every resident. As we gather here today, we do so fully aware that the strength of our region lies not only in its natural resources or economic potential, but in the resilience, determination, and unity of its people. The progress we celebrate today is the product of partnership forged across government institutions, traditional authorities, local authorities, the private sector, civil society organizations, development partners, and ordinary who continue to contribute selflessly to the advancement of our communities. When I assumed office, I made a directive that effective leadership must begin with I therefore embarked on exercise, traveling across to engage directly with our people. Witness first teachers work tirelessly under difficult conditions. Reinforced one important lesson the priorities and the necessary to unlock the potential of our region. The consultation the region. Poor road infrastructure, adequate coverage continue to commerce and access to information. While human
Okay, you're going to see a couple of guys trying to be sexy now.
Hi there, I'm Wala Bwalia.
And I'm
has proactively engaged several corporate entities and development partners, including Namport, Gendev, Hangana Seafood, Tunaco, and other institutions with a view to mobilize further support for sustainable water interventions. We remain optimistic that this engagement will yield positive outcomes and significantly contribute towards improving water access, particularly in the constituencies of Ngodi, Neharedi-Mpingana, Omtele, and Okankolo, where the need is most urgent. This effort demonstrates our unwavering commitment to ensuring that every household has access to safe and potable water, while at the same time creating an enabling environment for agriculture, livestock production, and other economic activities that sustain livelihoods, and we will continue to do so. Hence, we have also identified earth dams and traditional wells that needs to be well feasible. This initiative should be implemented through cash for work and food for work programs, thereby achieving the dual objective of strengthening local water infrastructure while creating temporary employment opportunities and improving household incomes for our communities members. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, fellow Namibians, I also wish to inform the region that the Office of the Prime Ministers, working in close collaboration with the Office of the Governor and other relevant stakeholders, is actively pursuing the revival of the Oshigambo Canal project. The successful rehabilitation and operationalization of this strategic infrastructure will significantly enhance water availability, strengthen agricultural production, and contribute to long-term socio-economic development in the region. As we continue implementing these interventions, I remain convinced that through strong partnership between government, the private sector, development partner, traditional authorities, and our communities, we will overcome the water challenge confronting our region and lay a solid foundation for sustainable development and shared prosperity. To strengthen water security in the southern part of the region, NamWater has identified 2 boreholes at Oshivero for development with a contractor already appointed to commence the required works. Upon completion, the boreholes are expected to boost the existing water supply system and improve access to potable water for residents of Oshivero, Kinkauruma, and surrounding communities, thereby contributing to a more reliable and sustainable water supply in the area. Demanding activities along the proposed water pipeline route from Omtsegwanime to Oshivero has commenced, marking an important milestone towards the implementation of this critical water infrastructure project. In addition, the installation of a booster pump at the Akaonde water station is planned and is expected to significantly improve water distribution to numerous villages in the eastern part of the region. The intervention will strengthen water pressure and increase the reliability of water supply to about 30 villages. Furthermore, the Ombundu, Ambende, and Namtenya areas are earmarked to receive booster pumps to improve water delivery and address existing supply challenges. Once completed, these upgrades will contribute to improved access to safe and reliable water service for residents in the affected areas. In an effort to comprehend ongoing intervention aimed at addressing water challenges in the region, I've initiated a fundraising gala dinner. I have initiated a fundraising gala dinner that will bring together stakeholders from the public and private sectors, development partners, and members of the business community to seek to mobilize resources towards sustainable water solution for vulnerable communities, while also assisting community hostels with the provision of water tankers and related water infrastructure. This intervention is particularly important as access to adequate water shortage facility is one of the key requirements for certification by the Ministry of Health and Social Services, which in turn enables community hostels to qualify for government subsidy. By supporting these institutions, we will not improve living conditions for learners, but also strengthen their ability to access much needed government support. I therefore call upon all institutions, business development partners, traditional authorities, community leaders, and well-wishers to come on board and support this noble initiative. Together, we can turn this vision into a reality and make a meaningful contribution towards improved access to water and enhancing the welfare of our communities across the region. Honorable members, agriculture remains one of the strategic priorities area identified for the Oshikoto region, and it's a key driver of food security, employment creation, and economic development. Being a region endowed with fertile agricultural land and a strong farming culture, our vision is to transform Oshikoto into a leading agricultural production and agro-processing hub in Namibia. To achieve this objective, the Office of the Governor is championing a comprehensive agricultural development agenda that seeks to strengthen the entire agricultural value chain, from primary production to processing, packaging, and marketing access. In addition, efforts are underway to promote the development of feedlots across the region. Feedlot production has the potential to improve livestock quality, increase market readiness, and enhance returns for farmers while strengthening the region's contribution to the national beef value chain. The region is equally committed to promoting agricultural value addition through the processing of local produced agricultural products rather than exporting raw produce. We must create opportunity for processing, packaging, and branding products within the region, thereby retaining greater economic value and creating jobs and stimulating entrepreneurship. To support this vision, the Office of the Governor will continue advocating for increased investment in agro-processing facility, storage infrastructure, irrigation projects, and market linkage that will enable farmers to participate more effectively in commercial agriculture. Recognizing the critical role of young people in the future of agriculture, especially emphasis also being placed on the establishment and support of agricultural youth projects across all constituencies. These initiatives are aimed at encouraging youth participation in crop production, horticulture, poultry farming, livestock production, and agribusiness development. The Office of the Governor will continue working with relevant ministry agencies, financial institutions, development partners, and the private sector to ensure that young farmers have access to land, training, mentorship, equipment financing, and markets. Through these interventions, we seek not only to strengthen food security, but also to position agriculture as a viable and attractive economic sector capable of creating sustainable employment and wealth of our people. As we move forward, our focus will be on building a resilient agricultural value chain that supports production, processing, marketing, and export opportunities, while ensuring that the Oshikoto region contributes meaningfully towards Namibia's goal of becoming food secure and economically prosperous. Honorable members, fellow Namibians, the expansion of telecommunication infrastructure remains one of the strategic priorities of the Oshikoto region. In an increasingly digital world, reliable network connectivity is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. It is a critical enabler of education, healthcare, business development, governance, financial inclusion, and access to information. Despite progress made over the years, several communities within our region continue to experience limited or no network coverage, negatively affecting service delivery and socio-economic development. The lack of connectivity restricts learners' access to digital learning platforms, hampers business activities, limit access to government services, and isolate communities from opportunities available through modern technology. In response to these challenges, the Office of the Governor has engaged the Ministry of Information, Communication Technology, and other relevant stakeholders to advocate for the expansion of telecommunication infrastructure across underserved areas of the region. Following extensive consultations and assessment conducted across the Oshikoto region, 5 priority locations have been identified for the installations of network towers based on prevailing connectivity challenges, population needs, and the urgent necessity to bridge the digital divide. The identified locations are Ongororo in Omtele constituencies, Okashanaki Tembu village in Ngodi constituencies, Oshipsa Marura Fall Water along District Road DR3001 in Guinas constituency, Ikukwayandutu village in Onyanya constituencies, and Onuwonya village in Omthia constituencies. The respective coordinates for these sites have already been submitted to the relevant authorities. The installation of network towers in these areas will significantly improve communication, support educational advancement, facilitate economic activities, strengthen access to public service, and promote social inclusion. It will also contribute towards creating an enabling environment for investment and entrepreneurship, particularly among young people who increasingly rely on digital technologies for learning, innovation, and business development. The Office of the Governor will continue engaging telecommunication service providers, the Minister of Information and Communication Technology, and other strategic partners to ensure that these projects are prioritized and implemented. Our vision remains to ensure that every community in the Oshikoto region has access to reliable communication services and opportunity that comes with digital connectivity. By expanding network coverage, we are not only connecting communities, we are connecting our people to knowledge, markets, opportunity, and a better future. Furthermore, I'm pleased to report that the Communication Regulatory Authority of Namibia, CRAN, continue to play a pivotal role in expanding telecommunication infrastructure in the Oshikoto region through the Universal Service Fund. Through this initiative, network infrastructure projects are being implemented in Nehale Jampingana constituencies, specifically at Hedimbi Junior Primary School, which has been erected towards the end of the year and is operational. In addition, CRAN has earmarked several strategic locations for network tower rollouts during the current financial year. These include Ohahati Primary School and Onarusheshete Primary School in Nehale Jampingana constituencies, whereby installation has commenced. In Okankoro constituencies, CRAN has identified the Ngodi Primary and Ambuda Combined School in Onaena constituencies. This investment demonstrates government commitments to ensuring equitable access to communication services, particularly in rural and underserved communities. Upon completion, these network infrastructure projects will significantly enhance connectivity for thousands of residents, learners, teachers, healthcare workers, and public institutions across the region. Improved network coverage will facilitate access to digital learning platforms, e-government services, mobile banking, emergency communications system, and economic opportunities, while also supporting the broader national objective of achieving digital inclusion for all Namibians. As a region, we welcome this intervention and remain committed to working closely with CRAN, the Minister of Information and Communication Technology, telecommunication service providers, and other stakeholders to ensure that every community in Oshikoto benefit from these reliable and affordable communication services. Indeed, this development signals the beginning of a new era of digital connectivity and socio-economic opportunity for our people, ensuring that no community is left behind in Namibia's digital transformation journey. As part of our commitment to strengthening human capital development, Oshikoto region welcomes the plan by NTA for establishment of a public vocational training center, VTC, in Omphia. Such a facility will play a critical role in addressing youth unemployment by providing practical and market-driven skills in fields such as construction, engineering, agriculture, information, entrepreneurship, and other technical disciplines, technology, renewable energy, and furthermore, I'm pleased to inform that the Office of the Governor has initiated a consultation with the International University of Management, IUM, and the University of Namibia to explore opportunity for expanding access to tertiary education within the Oshikoto region. These engagements are aimed at assessing the feasibility of establishing academic programs, satellite campuses, outreach centers, and other higher education initiatives that will bring tertiary education closer to our people. Such intervention will significantly reduce the financial burden associated with studying outside the region while increasing access to higher education, research, and innovation opportunities. The presence of institutions of higher learning within the Oshikoto will not only benefit students, but also stimulate local economy activities, attract investment, promote research, and contribute to the development of a knowledge-based economy. The Office of the Governor will therefore continue engaging all relevant stakeholders, including government ministries, institutions of higher learning, development partners, and the private sector to ensure that Oshikoto becomes a center of excellence for education, skills development, innovation, and research. By investing in education today, we are investing in the future prosperity of our region and ensuring that our young people are equipped with the knowledge, skills, and opportunity necessary to become active contributors to Namibia's development. Honorable members, road infrastructure remains one of the key priority areas identified for the Oshikoto region, as it serves as a critical enabler of economic growth, service delivery, and social development. 20 good roads facilitate access to markets, schools, health facility, and government service while reducing transport costs and stimulating investment. As predominantly rural region, Oshikoto continues to experience challenges relating to road accessibility, particularly during the rainy season when several communities become difficult to access. The improvement and expansion of our road network therefore remain a strategic intervention aimed at enhancing connectivity and improving the quality of life of our people. I'm pleased to report that the Ngoyi-Omtele Road has been completed, significantly improving accessibility and mobility for residents in the region. Building on this progress, works are continuing on the next phase of the road from Omtele to Onanke, which will further strengthen connectivity within the constituencies and unlock economic opportunity for surrounding communities. Furthermore, the construction of the Omphia-Elambo Road has commenced. This important project will improve access to social services and facilitate the movement of people and goods between communities. I'm equally encouraged to report that the design and demining activities for the Onyati, Onyulae, Onkumbura Road have been completed. The project is now awaiting the appointment of a contractor after which construction works are expected to commence. Honorable members, those projects form part of the Roads Authority Master Plan, which has identified 10 priorities roads for development within the Oshikoto region. And these roads are expected to play a transformative role in enhancing regional connectivity, stimulating economic activities, and improving access to essential services. The 10 prioritized roads are Onyati Onkumbula, Engoi Onanke, Omthia Onanke, Omahenge Onaena, Oshali Epumbu, King Kauruma Elavi, Andoni Omboto, Sahims Tinsaves, Uhama Ontunda, Ukui Ushona Milema. The implementation of these roads will significantly improve transportation networks across the region, facilitate agricultural production and trade, enhance access to schools and health facilities, and contribute to broader socio-economic development. In addition to major road projects, there remains an urgent need to improve and maintain feeder roads leading to schools, clinics, and remote communities. These roads are essential for ensuring uninterrupted access to education, healthcare, and other critical services, particularly for vulnerable rural populations. The Office of the Governor will therefore continue engaging Roads Authority, the Ministry of Works and Transport, regional and local authorities, and other stakeholders to ensure that roads infrastructure development remains a priority and that the people of Oshikoto continue to benefit from improved connectivity and increased economic opportunities. Honorable members, through this investment, we are not merely constructing roads, we are building pathways to education, healthcare, trade, investment, and a more prosperous future for our region. Tourism remains one of the key sectors with significant potential to contribute to economic growth, job creation, and community development in the Oshikoto region. The region is endowed with unique cultural heritage, rich history, diverse landscapes, and renowned tourism attraction that continues to draw both local and international visitors. The Office of the Governor is actively working with traditional authorities and other stakeholders to unlock and advance the tourism potential of the region. These collaborative efforts are aimed at preserving and promoting cultural heritage sites, enhancing the visibility of tourism attraction, and creating opportunities for local communities to participate meaningfully in the tourism value chain. Particularly emphasis is being placed on strengthening partnership that will support the development of community-based tourism initiatives, improve tourism infrastructure, and market Oshikoto as a destination of choice. Through these efforts, the region seeks to position itself as a competitive tourism destination while ensuring that the benefit of tourism contribute to local economic development and sustainable livelihood. It is therefore important that all stakeholders, including the private sector, development partners, local authorities, traditional leaders, and community members continue working together in promoting and developing tourism as a catalyst for inclusive growth and prosperity in the Oshikoto region. Honorable members, as a region, we continue to do comparatively well in shaping the minds of our young people. Education is a critical component of any society, and it is too important to be left to one sector alone. Parents, community leaders in various categories, and the business community have the responsibility to join hands with those in the education fraternity in educating the Namibian child. During the period under review, the Director of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sport, Arts and Culture recorded some notable key successes. Learners' enrollment increased by 3,471 learners from 84,052 in 2025 to 87,523 in 2026. The number of public schools offering Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate advanced subsidiary level has also increased from 11 to 13 due to high enrollment of learners in the region. Additionally, in order to enhance access to education, 5 new schools, 2 public and 3 private, were established in the region and commenced with academic work in 2025. Oshikoto region has also achieved an increase in the percentage of learners qualifying for grade 12, Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate Advanced Subsidiary from 37.7% in 2024 to 41% in 2025, an indication of overall improvement in learners' performance. The region further recorded a significant improvement in the quality symbols attained from 48% in 2024 to 70% in 2025 academic year. Even though the region dropped 1 place respectively from position 1 to 2nd, nationally at the ordinary level, and from position 4 to 5 at the advanced level for the year 2025, the region performed better compared to its performance of the previous year. On early childhood education, government through the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare is currently providing subsidy to 390 educators who are working at community ECDC by paying monthly allowance to ensure good educational foundation for all children. An amount of 8.2 million was expended for that purpose. Despite these achievements, the education sector in our region is faced with persistent challenges. Access to education, availability of learning support, materials, and inadequate conducive classroom remains a challenge. Learners, especially at some rural schools, walk long distance to school. Increased chances being less productive due to tiredness when they reach school. To address the challenge of learners traveling long distance to schools, one of the low-hanging fruits we have identified when we provide the region is to capacitate community hostels. Many schools are trying their best establishing their community hostels, but they need support to ensure that the community hostels are brought at the level where they can be certified by the Ministry of Health and qualify for government subsidies. It is for that reason the Office of the Governor has procured a total of 10 heavy-duty water tanks at a combined value of 232,000 Namibian dollars, specifically aimed at improving water access at schools, community hostels. This intervention forms part of our broader commitment to learners' welfare and improved service delivery in the education sector. The Office of the Governor is also constructing a 1 classroom at the tune of 120,000 Namibian dollars at Upindi Primary School in Namtere constituency to address the lack of adequate classroom. I would like to also commend other institutions that contributed towards enhancing education during the period under review. Medhealth Namibia constructed 2 precast classrooms, each at Onamatende Primary School and Omdunda Primary School. Nampower is constructing 2 hostel blocks at Josephus Simane Casino Senior Secondary School, currently at 20% progress, and Emancipate Investment Pty Ltd through the Office of the Governor donated 3 heavy-duty water tankers. These gestures will be of great impact if we all come together as individuals and cooperate to support education with the little we can. An investment in education is an investment in our children and an investment for the better future. We should no longer talk about meeting the government halfway. We must rather hold hands as stakeholders and journey together, hand in hand, for the betterment of our community. Communities that continuously learn, build capacity to respond better to economic and social challenges. The Directorate of Education during the period under review organized practical training on producing income-generating products such as dishwashing liquid, paper beads, and perfumes. The training benefited 480 people from various constituencies across the region. Fellow Namibians, for the purpose of settlements, development, and social well-being, Oshikoto Regional Council made budget provision for 4.5 million Namibian dollars for developments in Oshigambo, Tintsawes, Onaena, and Oshivero settlements. The planning of Oshigambo proper is 98% completed, while surveying is at 50%. Similarly, planning of Tintsawes proper and Onaena extension 2 is at 98% progress each. While the planning and surveying of 1181 in Oshivero proper is at 95%. Access to decent housing remains a challenge, not only in Oshikoto region, but in Namibia at large. To address these challenges, the Oshikoto Regional Council is implementing their decentralized Build Together program in order to provide decent houses to low-income earners who cannot access finance from commercial institutions. In Oshivero settlement, 7 low-income earners' houses have been completed and handed over to beneficiaries during the current reporting period. An additional 15 houses will be constructed during the current financial year. The Chumeb municipality is also constructing 32 building together houses in Nomsop Extension 8 at a cost of 2,260,000 Namibian dollars. Under the Land Acquisition and Allocation Program for resettlement purpose, the Division of Land have assessed and demarcated 9 farms in the Oshikoto region during 2025-2026 financial year. The Division of Land has also implemented the registration of land rights, whereby a total number of 933 customary land rights were registered. In addition, 863 customary land rights certificates were issued to the Ondonga Traditional Authority for further distribution to the applicants. During the same period, a total 2 leasehold land rights were registered. On sport matters, there is a steady progress on development of constituencies-based sport facilities. Following consultation with the Ministry of Works and Transport, the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, and the National Planning Commission, I'm pleased to report that the budget allocation for the construction of basic facilities has been increased from 5 million to 10 million per facility. This enhanced investment reflects the commitment to improving sport infrastructure and expanding opportunities for youth participation in sport and recreation across the region. I'm further delighted to report that a provisional award has been issued to the contractor, and construction is expected to commence as soon as possible at the identified prioritized sites in Okankolo and Gwinas constituencies. The implementation of this facility will provide much needed infrastructure for talent development, community recreation, and the promotion of health lifestyles, while contributing to the advancement of sports development in the region. During the engagement with the contractor, I strongly urge the local companies be prioritized through the subcontracting arrangements, and that local labor be utilized to the greatest extent possible during the construction phase. This approach is intended to ensure that the project not only delivers sport infrastructure, but also creates employment opportunity promote skills transfer, and stimulate local economic development within the region. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the National Youth Development Fund remains operational and continues to provide young people with opportunity to access financial support for viable business ventures and income-generating projects. I therefore encourage the youth of our region to continue applying for this facility and to take full advantage of the opportunities it presents. Young people are urged to develop innovative business ideas, pursue entrepreneurial initiatives, and make use of the support mechanism available through the fund. The continued uptake of the National Youth Development Fund will play a crucial role in fostering youth entrepreneurship and reducing unemployment and empowering young people to become drivers of economic growth and prosperity in the region. Honorable Chairperson, fellow Namibians, on economic advancement matters, the Oshikoto Regional Council made provision for 130,000 Namibian dollars for the strengthening the startup enterprises in the region. In that regard, 32 MSME owners in Onaena, Onyanya, and Omtele constituencies were trained on business development skills. The Regional Council also supported one youth agricultural project, the Okahenge B on Nipa constituency, project in Onaena constituency, and another project in Gwinas constituency with material to assist them to scale. The Equipment Aid Scheme, implemented by the Ministry of Mines and Energy, assists MSME with necessary equipment for further business to improve productivity, capacity, and scale. During the year under review, 7 MSME from Oshikoto benefited from the Equipment Aid Scheme, with the equipment worth a combined value of 1.2 million. The SORA revolving fund under the same ministry has financed the electrification of 41 households in Oshikoto region. 32 of those households were electrified by solar system at a cost of 1.5 million, while 9 were electrified by a grid at a cost of 261,000 Namibian dollars. During the same reporting period, NORAD connected Onanjamba Kuka Shop in Onanjamba village with a total of 108 connections at an amount of 1.6 million. The connection of Nakanjani Center in Oname village is at procurement stage and is expected to result in 35 connections. Fellow Namibians, the Oshikoto region is blessed with abundant fertile land. As I always say, Oshikoto region has potential to become the breadbasket of this country. However, for that to happen, we need to work hard to change that potential into practical reality. On our own individual pieces of land, no matter how small, let us ensure that we produce sufficient food for our own consumption and for commercial purposes. It is pleasing to report that during the period under review, AMTA budgeted 1.3 million for buying surplus grain from communal farmers in Oshikoto for the national sales. However, the actual amount spent was 2.8 million, a figure that is more than double the budgeted amount. This is an indication that farmers in the Oshikoto region are serious with food production. From the side of government, we therefore give our commitment to work hard in creating a conducive environment for farming and agricultural-related business. The dryland and crop production programs and cereal value chain implemented by the Directorate of Agricultural Production, Extension and Engineering Services is responsible for providing subsidized plowing services, reaping, and seeds. During this reporting period, 6,900 hectares were plowed and 248 hectares were reaped. A total combined number of 3,750 farmers benefited from plowing services, reaping, and seeds subsidy. However, out of the total budget of 2.9 million for the said program, only about 1 million was spent during the financial year. It is therefore important that introspection is done to identify challenges and address them to ensure that support programs earmarked for this critical sector are implemented fully without fail. Honorable Chairperson, fellow Namibians, during the period under review, various infrastructure development and maintenance projects were implemented by the Regional Council, as well as officers, ministries, and agencies in the region. A total combined amount of 129 million was budgeted for infrastructure development projects by the Regional Council and delegated function in the region, in Oshikoto region. During the implementation of those projects, a total of 404 temporary jobs were created, primarily in the construction sector. A budget provision amounting to 7.2 million was allocated to infrastructure development projects for the Regional Council. Of that amount, 3.7 million was spent. Projects fully completed include the construction of a kitchen and a dining hall at Onamishu Combined School in Ngodi constituencies, to enable the school community hostel to qualify for government host subsidy. Electrification of Imbu Growth Point in Onipa, the maintenance of Oshikoto Regional Council head office, and the road maintenance at Oshigambo, and the installation of Nandelifa borehole in the Hare-Jampingana constituencies. The construction of the Oshivero open market is nearing completion, currently at 95%. The new open market will provide a conducive marketing environment for local traders. The Chumeb municipality completed various infrastructure development projects, namely the electrification of Nonsop Extension 9, rehabilitation of Namtoni B1 Road, and the sand filtration water treatment plant at a combined cost of 60.7 million. The construction of rural toilet project is currently at procurement stage. The progress of the Onakazizi, Onakandi 7-kilometer water pipeline in the Mtere constituencies was disrupted by rain water, but is expected to be completed this year. Infrastructure development in the education sector during the period under review are as follows. 8 classrooms, an ablution block, and a fence were constructed at Omthia English Primary School in Omthia constituency at a total cost of 2 million. The construction of classroom, ablution block, admission block, and the fence is ongoing at Onakasino Combined School in Omthia constituencies. Construction of classrooms, admission block, science lab, computer lab, library, ablution block, and cooking shelter is currently ongoing at each of the following schools, namely Ihongo Combined School in Naina constituency, Ameteta Combined School in Omthia constituencies, and Amwero Combined School in Omthia constituency. All these projects are currently above 65% complete. The Director of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sport and Culture further constructed 2 pre-primary classrooms at each of the following schools: Onamishu Combined School and the Lambo Combined School in Ngodi constituencies, Onasfinge South Combined School in Naina constituencies, Oshia Combined School in Onyanya constituencies, Ontananga Primary School in Olukonda constituency, Onyanya PS in Onyanya constituency, while Oshigambo PS in Onipa constituency got 4 classrooms. All of the above mentioned projects are completed with exemption of Oshigambo PS and Onyanya PS, which are at progress rate of 60% and 80% respectively. A large ablution block, each is being constructed at Onanke Combined School in Omtele constituencies and Onampadi Combined School in Anipa constituency. A total amount of 38 million was budgeted for the above mentioned educational infrastructure development in the region, and 18.6 million has been spent. A total of 285 temporary jobs were created during the implementation of those projects, benefiting mainly the locals, especially the youth. Despite the commendable achievements, there are challenges that need to be addressed to improve service delivery. The Directorate of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sport and Culture headquarters continues operating from a dilapidated infrastructure in Ondangwa, Oshana region. This creates administrative inefficiencies and significant operational challenges. This is an anomaly and must be addressed. The Office of the Regional Governor will continue to engage relevant stakeholders to ensure construction of permanent regional offices in Omphia. The region also remains with 19 schools without ablution facilities, 19 schools without water, and 17 schools without electricity. Furthermore, there are admission constraints and overcrowded classrooms in urban schools, especially in Chumeb. There is therefore a need to construct a new school in Chumeb to decongest existing schools. However, to holistically address the demand, Oshikoto region requires 2 newly fully fledged secondary schools. Oshikoto region being largely rural, education is also negatively affected by poor access roads to remote school and poor network coverage on health matters. A total of 78.8 million was budgeted for development of various health infrastructure in the region. The construction of the Onanjokwe Modern Maternity Ward at the cost of 59 million has been completed and inaugurated. The construction of a neonatal intensive care unit at Onanjokwe Intermediate Hospital is currently at 35%. Furthermore, the renovation of Lombard Clinic in Chumeb and the Onaina Health Center are progressing well and are currently 80% complete, while the renovation of Ontananga Clinic is completed. The construction of patients' waiting area at OPD Omphia Hospital, the construction of ambulance station and GRN vehicles shade, as well as the renovation of the Onakazizi nurses' home are 100% completed. The renovation of the Onakazizi Clinic is in progress. The construction of the Onaina Health Center is earmarked to commence before the end of 2026-2027 financial year. Fellow Namibians, 2025-2026 compared to 2024-2025. On safety and security matters, the crime rate in the region is concerning. The number of crimes in the region went up by 35.5% during the financial year. During the 2025-2026 period, a total number of 1,541 crimes were registered in the Oshikoto region. While the previous year, 1,137 crimes were recorded, this is an increase by 404 crimes. The highest crimes recorded are assault with intent to do grievous bodily harm, with 945 cases recorded, up by 66.7% compared to 506.7 recorded the previous financial year. Stock theft was the second highest with 200 cases recorded. However, in comparison to the previous year, where 269 cases were recorded, stock theft cases went down by 34.5%. Alarmingly, rape cases went up by 41%, from 132 the previous financial year to 187. Drug cases went up by 82.7%, from 87 to 159. Murder cases also went up from 13 cases to 16 cases during the current reporting period. Financial year to 34 cases during 2025-2026 financial year. Crimes related to protected resources went down from 69 cases in the year 2024-2025. A closer analysis of this statistic reveals that crimes which are happening in the confines of our homes and social settings, such as GBH, domestic violence, rape, drugs, and even murder are all on an astronomical increase. It is reported that rape victims are mostly minors and underage children that being left in home the care of male domestic workers or with relatives who ends up breaching the trust. This is concerning. We need to come up with initiative as stakeholders to reverse this situation. Honorable members, the decentralization of essential public services remains a key pillar of government commitment to bringing service closer to the people and improving access to justice for all citizens in this regard. In this regard, I'm pleased to inform the residents of Oshikoto that operation at the Omthia Magistrate Court officially commenced earlier this month. This marks a significant milestone in the region's development and represents another important step towards enhancing the administration of justice within Oshikoto. For many years, residents of Omthia and surrounding constituencies were compelled to travel long distance to either Ondangwa or Chume to access magistrate court services. This not only imposed financial and logistical burdens on litigants, witnesses, and legal practitioners, but also resulted in an unnecessary delay and inconveniences. The operationalization of the Omthia Magistrate Court will now ensure that justice is brought closer to the people, reducing travel costs and time while improving the efficiency and accessibility of judicial services for thousands of residents across the region. This development reflects the government's continued commitment to decentralization, equitable service delivery, and ensuring that no community is left behind in accessing accessible, essential public services. I wish to commend the judiciary, the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations, and all stakeholders who collective effort have made this important achievement possible. It is my sincere hope that this facility will continue to strengthen the rule of law, improve public confidence in our justice system, and contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic development of the Oshikoto region. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, as the chairperson of the Governors Forum, I wish to commend my fellow regional governors for their unwavering dedication and commitment to advancing the developmental agenda of our nation. Despite the unique challenges and opportunities that characterize our respective regions, governors across the country continue to demonstrate exemplary leadership in driving service delivery, fostering socio-economic development, and improving the livelihoods of our people. I encourage all regional governors to remain steadfast in aligning regional priorities and programs with the vision and aspiration of the 8th administration under the leadership of Her Excellency, the President, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, through unit of purpose, collaboration, and a shared commitment to excellence. We can collectively accelerate development and ensure that no region and no citizen is left behind. To those colleagues who have already delivered their State of the Region address, I extend my sincere appreciation for your leadership and accountability to the people you serve. To those who are yet to present their addresses, I wish you every success and strength as you prepare to account to your respective region on the achievements realized and the plans that lie ahead. May your engagement be fruitful, and may they continue to inspire confidence and hope among our citizens. Together, let's continue to champion good governance, strengthen regional development, and work tirelessly towards the realization of a prosperous and inclusive Namibia for all. As I conclude this address, I wish to reiterate that the state of the region is not merely a reflection of where we have been, but a declaration of where we intended to go. The progress outlined today demonstrated that despite the many challenges confronting our region, we are steadily moving forward, every borehole drilled, every classroom constructed, every road maintained, every entrepreneur empowered, and every farmer supported, and every young person equipped with knowledge and skills represent another step towards a stronger and a more prosperous Oshikoto. At the same time, we must acknowledge that much remains to be done. Water scarcity continues to affect many of our communities. Access to quality education and healthcare still requires significant investment. Crimes and gender-based violence continue to threaten fabric of our society. Our infrastructure needs remains substantial, and unemployment, particularly among our youth, continues to demand innovative and sustainable solutions. These challenges, however, should not discourage us. Rather, they should inspire us to work even harder and to strengthen the partnership that have already begun to produce tangible results. Government alone cannot build the Oshikoto we all envision. Likewise, the private sector cannot unlock economic growth without an enabling environment created by government and supported by communities. Traditional authorities cannot preserve our cultural heritage and mobilize communities without the cooperation of public institutions. Civil society organizations cannot effectively serve vulnerable groups without collaboration from all stakeholders. Development partners cannot maximize their impact without local ownership and coordination. The future of Oshikoto, therefore, lies in our collective hands. As a region, we must embrace new culture of partnership where government institutions, local authorities, traditional leaders, churches, businesses, farmers, development partners, civil society organizations, educational institutions, and community members see themselves not as separate actors, but as equal partners working towards one common purpose. I therefore extend a sincere invitation to the private sector to continue investing in our people and our community. Your contribution to education, infrastructure development, healthcare, agriculture, and enterprises development is not merely corporate social responsibility. It is an investment in the future workforce, market, and prosperity for our region. I equally call upon our traditional leaders whose wisdom and influence remain invaluable to continue working hand in hand with the government in promoting social cohesion, protecting our natural resources, preserving our customs and traditions, and encouraging peaceful and sustainable community development. To our churches and faith-based organizations, your role in shaping moral values, strengthening families, and promoting compassion remains indispensable. Continue to stand with us in addressing social ills such as gender-based violence, substance abuse, and the protection of vulnerable children. To our farmers, both communal and commercial, continue believing in the potential of our land. Oshikoto has all the ingredients necessary to become one of Namibia's leading food-producing regions. Together, we can strengthen food security, create employment, and contribute significantly to the national economy. To our young people, you remain our greatest asset. Your energy, creativity, and determination are the foundation upon which tomorrow's Oshikoto will be built. Continue to pursue education, acquire skills, embrace innovation, and become active participants in the development of our communities. To every resident of Oshikoto, regardless of background, political affiliation, profession, or social status, I urge you to embrace the spirit of unity and shared responsibility. Development is not the responsibility of government alone. Every citizen has a role to play in keeping our communities safe, protecting public infrastructure, supporting our schools, caring for the vulnerable, and contributing positively to society. As Namibians, we have consistently demonstrated that our greatest achievement come when we stand together. The value that united us in our struggle for independence must continue to guide us in our struggle against poverty, inequality, unemployment, and underdevelopment. Let us therefore reject division and embrace cooperation. Let us replace pessimism with optimism. Let us replace doubt with determination. Let us replace individual interest with common good. Our vision for Oshikoto is clear: a region where every house has access to clean and reliable water, where every child receives quality education in a conducive learning environment, where every farmer has an opportunity to succeed, where roads connect our people to market and services, where digital connectivity bridges distance and unlocks opportunity, where businesses flourish, where women, men, and children live in safety and dignity, and where every resident has a fair opportunity to improve their quality of life. This vision is ambitious, but it's achievable. If we remain united, this ambitious, but it's achievable if we remain united. As your governor, I reaffirm my unwavering commitment to serve with integrity, accountability, transparency, and dedication. My office will continue to engage all stakeholders, mobilize partnership, advocate for resources, and champion initiatives that improve the lives of our people. The journey ahead might be challenging, but I have absolute confidence in the resilience, determination, and ingenuity of the people of Oshikoto. Time and again, we have shown that when we work together, there is no obstacle too great to overcome. Let history record that this generation chose cooperation over conflict, action over complacency, and hope over despair. Let history record that together we build an Oshikoto region that future generations will be proud to inherit. Together, let us continue building bridges instead of barriers, opportunities instead of obstacles, and a future defined not by our challenges, but by our collective determination to overcome them. May the Almighty God continue to bless the Oshikoto region, bless all its people. God bless the Republic of Namibia. I thank you.
Yes, indeed, that was the Oshikoto Regional Governor, Sacky Kathindi, giving us his second SORA. That is now the first one that he did last year and the one for 2026. In that speech, the governor highlighted the various milestones that the region has achieved over the past year and also charted a way forward for the region to ensure that they keep continuously developing the region to the benefit of its people and visitors alike. Earlier, I've been joined by Martin Elago. He is a former CRO of the Oshana region, now a resident of Oshikoto region, as well as the headman of Omangudu 2 village in the Oshikoto region. Just to dissect the speech, Tate Elago, your thoughts on the SORA. You had expectations. Were they met?
Thank you so much. I think I'm a very happy man because I was like spot on actually on my expectations of what the Honorable Governor would say in his SORA. To be more specific, really, there are quite a few issues that I can mention. I mentioned the issue of the water shortages in the region, especially in the eastern part, and he quite elaborated that one actually at length, and therefore, the projects that he mentioned, for example, that there is a program actually to construct, to upgrade and actually revamp the pipeline, the water pipeline from Ondangwa to Msewonime, and then down or upwards up to Oshivelo. Those are huge projects, and they are really going to make an impact. He mentioned quite a few others actually out in the villages there, and I believe that's going to bring much relief to the villagers there. And I'm sure by this time next year, we will have a completely different region in terms of water scarcity and water supply.
The governor also mentioned about $129 million was spent towards infrastructure development across all its constituencies. Tell us your thoughts on that, as well as the creation of 400 jobs for the Namibian youth.
Yeah, in fact, maybe that number was even only confined to certain sectors. If you consider, or if you put together all the amounts of money spent on development, or rather on different development projects, whether in terms of the upcoming settlement areas, whether in terms of what the regional council has spent, and all the programs and projects really that ran during the course of this reporting period, I think it's quite a satisfactory number that, our youth were able to benefit from those, and that at least the services that have been constructed will hopefully improve on the service delivery of the people of Oshikoto. So I am happy with what I'm hearing, although I would still encourage the Honorable Governor to continue working harder, actually because of, the level of youth unemployment, the poverty levels in the country. We still need to work hard. People must see that something is really being done for them, and they are truly benefiting from the development. Our development should be people-centered, not just development for its own sake, but to benefit the people.
Mr. Elago, one of the sentiments that the governor mentioned that struck a chord was the issue of unity of purpose amongst especially leaders to ensure that they deliver promptly to the masses. What is the significance of that statement towards realizing the vision that is set out now in this year's SORA?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. In fact, hearing from what the governor said, especially on collaboration, and the need for all the stakeholders really to come to the plate, or to step to the plate, and to, it's very, very encouraging that, he is not emphasizing his role alone, but he is emphasizing the need for everybody to come on board, whether it is regional councillors, local authority councillors, traditional leaders, church leaders, everybody else really. He highlighted that one, put high emphasis on that, and I cannot agree more. I think it's very necessary. Otherwise, if we work in the mode of a one-man show, he will definitely not be able to achieve everything alone.
Yeah, definitely no one-man shows here. Now, he also spoke about the issue that the Oshikoto region, he says, has all the ingredients to make sure that this region becomes the breadbasket of Namibia. Now tell us about the significance of that and how Namibians can really capitalize, or residents of the Oshikoto region as well as would-be investors can capitalize on opportunities presented in the agricultural sector of the region.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Again, he emphasized on the fertility of our land, our agricultural land. He emphasized on the potential to benefit from our tourists, both local and those that come in from other parts of the world. And, the human capital that we have, all the resources. I cannot agree more that indeed the resources are there. We just need to realize that indeed we have those resources and put them to good and productive use. And I think we can, with the type of leadership that he would like to provide, I think we can all come on board and try by all means to support him and to also help the region develop, really. We need development for the benefit of the people. And we want to see a difference.
On the education sector, the governor says the region continued to sail smoothly in terms of performance, despite the various challenges that the learners, or especially those in remote rural areas, are faced with long distances to and from school, canvassing the oceans and the terrains just to get education. Tell us about your thoughts on that. We have seen that he said 19 schools still lack there is basic services. How can the government accelerate this to ensure that they really give these learners an opportunity to learn in conducive areas, as well as what is your message to other regions to ensure that they tap from the Oshikoto region's example to ensure that challenges cannot really define performance of learners or teachers?
I understand perfectly why the Honorable Governor feels that much more needs to be done to help children to have a better and more conducive environment in order for them to learn. It's true. If you look at the number of schools which have now added more phases, many schools have become secondary schools, and these secondary schools are in the villages. There are no proper roads, there are no proper telecommunication and internet connectivity infrastructure, yet the children are able to perform like that. That is really very, very encouraging, and therefore you wouldn't want to disappoint children that are trying. Not only children, but their teachers that are trying hard. I think I agree with the governor that something needs to be done to help these schools. If you consider also that these children do not have proper government hostels, in such cases they would rely on what we call community hostels, which are informal hostels. The food is provided by the parents, and the cooking and preparation of food is done by the parents and stuff like that on a voluntary basis, actually. You would actually realize that it's really not very, very healthy. It's really not a conducive environment to have a situation like that. You want children to benefit from government subsidies, government services, and therefore once these informal or community hostels are registered as government hostels, then these children will have a better environment in terms of nutrition, hygiene, and conducive learning environment, really, unlike the conditions under which they are living right now and the conditions under which they are working. That poses also risks when you have to travel those distances on a daily basis. And you know, the risk also of, rape and stuff like that. I mean, it's very, very unhealthy. You want a more healthier situation like that.
Mr. Elago, on the crime issues, the governor reported that about 66% increase was recorded in terms of GBV, as well as 41% in terms of rape cases that have increased. How can the community members really ensure that they too assist the police in ensuring that they get culprits behind, but that cannot be our primary focus? Also maybe to say, how do we mobilize our people to desist from these social ills?
It's very unfortunate that we have situations like those. One would have expected, the crime rate actually to either remain the same or to at least decrease. But unfortunately, in this case, it has gone up. Very, very unfortunate indeed. And the culprits, or most of the culprits, are usually us, men. Whether married or not, whether well-to-do in terms of social status, or those that are looking after our cattle and stuff, they are the ones actually, violating our women and our girls like that. And usually it's also relatives, people that are staying with those children, for example, are the ones that are, taking advantage of them and violating them. And therefore, really, I think there is one of the things that we can do is basically to continue with the education, to educate our people, especially the police force should not only rely on arresting, prosecuting, they should also engage more on awareness creation, educating people, and also, empowering other members of the society, community leaders, all the leaders really to also come on board and educate people. When you see some of the incidents really where even very, very young children are involved, men need to be educated that sometimes those people don't even have parts, physical bodies that are ready for that. It's only a sign that this person, once they grow, there will be something. But for now, there is nothing. Otherwise, you are just damaging the child and basically destroying the life of the child. And all these things need to be known by these men to desist from such kind of activities, really. It's very, very unfortunate, and it needs to be discouraged by all means.
Also on the economy, especially towards the support of SMEs, we've seen that the recently launched Youth Development Fund has kicked off here also in the Oshikoto region, and 7 local SMEs have benefited. About 1.2 million was already given to them. What is your thoughts on that, and how can these funds be able to assist not only in economic development, but as well as in job creation and skills transfer?
That fund, as far as I'm concerned, really is, it has come at a good time. Rather, one can say it really has not come at, it couldn't have come at a better time, because if you compare youth unemployment, the number of school dropouts, those children that are roaming the streets because they have finished their education but have not been lucky enough to find a job. I thought this is a good opportunity really for them to take advantage of and improve their livelihoods through that. I mean, if this is a loan or funding that you are getting under conditions like that, not so stringent, as long as you have your business plan in order, as long as your, your things are thought out or well thought out. This is rare. You don't usually find opportunities such as this. You go to banks and you usually don't get loans easily. And therefore, this is an opportunity that our youth people really need to take advantage of and improve their livelihoods, really. You have got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. But if you just, you just are lazy, I'm sorry to use the word, but if you just decide not to do something, really, you have got nothing to gain there. But, if you try, you may find that your business may work out, and it may improve your life, really. And you may, be self-employed and even employ other people, really.
We have also learned this morning from the SORA that the Omphia Magistrate Court is now fully operational here in the region. That is cutting costs for those seeking legal services. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent development, really. I took note of that, and I compare to what I see actually. I observe police vehicles actually driving every day from here to Ondangwa, whether taking people to court or whether, taking people that have been sentenced to, what do they call them? Where they are to be held, actually. And you can imagine really how much money government used to spend actually driving like that every single day. And now that cost is out. It's away. Actually, we don't have it anymore. If you consider yourself also that you want to get, to talk to a magistrate, or to talk to whoever, you always have to either drive to Ondangwa or to Tsumeb. Those are expensive undertakings. But now, at least, those costs are out of picture now, and therefore, we cannot really complain. We are happy, and it just tells us that if all the offices, ministries, and agencies are to decentralize, then that will cut the cost on traveling to other towns to access those services. And it will also create quite a different environment here, because if they all come here, that will have a multiplier effect on the economy of the town in the first place, and then finally in the region. Because if, for example, UNAM were to set up here, IUM, everybody else, they will come with staff, and those people will need accommodation. So there will be construction actually to put up those accommodation facilities, houses and stuff. And in the end, all the other services will also follow suit. So the sooner all other government offices and ministries decentralize, the better for the region, and starting with the town itself.
Now, on the health sector, we've seen that about 78.8 million has been budgeted across the region, as well as a notable modern facility that was recently launched at Onanjokwe. There is the maternity ward that costed government about 59 million. Your thoughts on the significance of this budget towards uplifting the health sector in the region?
Yeah, that is also a welcome development, really. Health services are needed by everybody, and therefore we need not struggle really to access those services. It's actually a good trend that we are seeing, that existing hospitals are upgraded to have other services that were not there before. We have clinics also that we see being upgraded to health facility status, where you have a doctor, you have a dentist at a clinic or at a health center. Those are very, very welcome developments. We appreciate them, and therefore, let the Honorable Governor just facilitate and make sure that monitors the implementation of these projects. They are needed by the community. Maybe I dare add that, let's just make sure that this, complaint of medicine or certain medicines not being there at the hospitals, let that not be, the case in Oshikoto, please. We want hospitals to be well equipped and to serve the people. No complaints, please.
For sure. You are a traditional headman in the region. Tell us what should the traditional authorities do, as well as traditional leaders do, to ensure that they complement this SORA, and also government aims on the objectives to bringing development closer to its people. I've seen that the Ondonga Traditional Authority, for example, is one of the traditional authorities that's really doing well in terms of job creation through its various gardening projects across the region. Your thoughts maybe on how you can work together with the government?
No, thank you very much. Indeed, we are a part of the governance system in the country. The reason why traditional authorities are set up in the first place is because central government cannot reach everyone and everywhere. You have community issues, community development, and things that really need to go down to the ground, and that becomes the responsibility of us traditional leaders. And therefore, what we do basically, we listen we should listen to the needs of our people, compile them, bring them to the level of the councillor, and eventually reaching the government. And therefore, we should look at one another as partners. When we look at the regional councillor, we look at them as one of our own, because we have to work together. If we are to work in different directions, you can imagine what would happen. And therefore, the relationship between us as traditional leaders and the Honorable Governor and the regional councillors is one of complementarity. We cannot compete or have relations that are unhealthy. It will reflect badly on our people, and it will eventually, actually just make it harder for people to get the development that we are looking for. So we are like the mouthpiece of the people for, conveying the message from the people to the government.
Mr. Elago, thank you so much for joining us this
pleasure,
morning.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was Mr. Martin Elago, a former CRO of the Oshana region, as well as the headman of Umangudo village in the Oshikoto region, as well as a resident of this great region. Now, this morning we had the second SORA that was tabled for the second time by the Oshikoto Governor Sacky Kathindi, speaking to us about the milestones and challenges, as well as charting the way forward for the region and its visitors alike in terms of bringing development closer to its people that is tangible and that speaks to their needs. Now, his message was that unity of purpose is needed to ensure that this blueprint document is realized and does not gather dust in his office, as well as other offices across the region and beyond. I am Dapanda Shuya, and from the rest of the crew here in the Oshikoto region, it is back to you.
This is NBC One. It's ours.
Happy 35th birthday, NBC. It's ours. Every story starts somewhere. Ours began in 1991. From the very beginning, we have carried one clear purpose: to inform, to entertain, and to inspire. From our early analog days to the digital future, we continue to build. We have been part of Namibia's journey, traveling across the vast landscapes of our country, telling the stories that connect us. We have captured the moments that matter, the joy, the pain, the culture, the heritage, and the history of a brave and resilient people. Through it all, one truth has remained constant: it's ours. NBC has been the bridge between home and the world. Through our news, our programs, our voices, and our people, we bring the world closer to Namibia and take Namibia closer to the world. Everywhere, every day. This is more than a birthday. It is a story of resilience, a celebration of media freedom, democracy, and national pride. Join us as we look back on 35 years of growth, milestone, memories, and service to the nation. Happy 35th birthday, NBC. It's ours.
Where he needs to get. Even after the day he took off his gloves, he is the force behind the power. The punches and the knockouts of a world champion. Behind this tough exterior is a handshake, friendly as a smile on his face. He's been there, done that, and always stayed in the background. But as you can see, he's taking me all the way up, step by step, to come up with a knockout punch.
Stay informed and inspired with the Daily Roundup with Nina, your ultimate weekday destination for the latest news, in-depth interviews, and compelling stories from Namibia and around the world. From breaking headlines and